Hello, and welcome to the Awakened Winners podcast. I am super excited to introduce my guest today. Her name is Lauren. She's just an amazing woman. I'm excited for her to share her story. But before we start, I'm going to read her bio, and then Lauren will share more about her and Hearts of Joy International. Lauren Costabile, right?
Costabile.
Fancy. I love it. Lauren Costabile.
There you go.
Is the founder and executive director of Hearts of Joy International. As a speaker and fierce advocate for those with Down syndrome, she is deeply passionate about serving this population and showing the world the immense gift that these children are. After traveling to Uganda, East Africa in 2017, she witnessed firsthand how individuals with Down syndrome are disregarded and seen as a burden to society. This is a little hard for me to read as a mom.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm getting emotional.
It's okay. It doesn't end there though. There's a good.
I know, but still
yeah.
As a result, these children are not receiving proper medical care and therefore are dying. This pierced Lauren's heart, and she was inspired to create a program exclusively for children with Down syndrome to receive access to cardiac treatment. In 2018, Hearts of Joy International was born. Lauren also counsels and provides education about Down syndrome and heart defects to families, communities, and orphanages around the world. She believes that no matter what country you are born in or what your life circumstances are, every child deserves an equal chance at a happy and healthy life, and will never stop fighting to make that possible.
That's me.
Let me get my tissues.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry, girl.
Yeah.
It touches my heart, and it touches my heart on a personal level. You know, there's so many stories I've heard when it comes to people with Down syndrome that it's heartbreaking.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a gift. Like having a child with Down syndrome is such a gift, and it's like my mission through the mission of Hearts of Joy to spread that to as many people as possible that would listen to this truth that these kids are such a blessing. They're incredible. And yeah, I think it's our job to share that within the witness of our own lives and our own experiences.
And that's my mission. It is who I am too, as a mother of a child with Down syndrome, and experiencing the projections, the negative projections on my son that were so confusing to me as a mother firsthand. It was like, because I never had the reaction some parents have, and not comparing as bad or good. It's just different experiences, right? Like my experience was I always accepted my son. I loved him before I met him. When now he was born, they said Down syndrome. I'm like, pass him over here.
Yeah. I love it.
The cutest thing with the perfectly round shaped head and the toes and the nose and the And then I get to experience people saying things like, why do you think this happened to you? You're such a good person. What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So anyways, that really touched my heart reading that, because of my experiences and the perception of perfection that's so distorted when people in general, right? Like so many perceptions of perfections, like, right? I used to be made fun of because of my smile, my gums show. So it was like, oh, okay, I'm not supposed to show it.
Yeah.
Never
Yeah,
mind.
but that's like society standards. I always say, like, it's not as much as like what you look like or what you're going to do or contribute, because we decide perfection or a worth based off of our job, how much money we make, or things that we do, like an action. Whereas I believe it's just because you are, like, God created you, and so you have a place here. I mean, and these kids are no different. Like, we're all in the same, in that sense. It's like, because you are and you're a human and you were created, like, you have something to do here. We all have something to contribute in the world.
My book is called The Awakened Winners. And the subtitle is We Already Won. And I share it on every podcast, and I'm sharing it now because what we're talking about now is what I've written about, but also it's about identity and how we get attached to so many identities rather than the truth of who we are. But I love the title of my book. To me, is everything. The Awakened Winners. We already won. We already won. Like, my son was born a winner. Right. And one of the things that I wrote is that someone's lack of ability to see my son's magnificence has nothing to do with him. It has
That's
to do
so
with
good.
right.
That's so good. Yeah.
I love the I'll just read that little piece to you. Because I did a dedication to him, and I wrote, my prayer is that the world knows how magnificent you are as they remember how magnificent they are, because anyone that doesn't see your magnificence doesn't see their own.
Wow. That's so powerful. Yeah. Wow.
Lauren,
I love it.
I love
So
you.
good.
I
So
love
good.
you and your mission. It's
Thank
something
you.
that to me is so beautiful. I want to talk about so much, but I want you to share more, share about your mission and how it started and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've always worked with children with special needs for many years. And then in 2017, I had the privilege of going to Uganda, and I visited the Down syndrome community there. And what I saw really shocked me. So I saw children being confined to their homes and not really being a part of the community, and a big lack of awareness for this condition, and also the connection between Down syndrome and the heart defect. And so 50% of children born with Down syndrome have a congenital heart defect that requires surgery to repair within the first year of their life. And so I knew that from working with this population in the US, because children get that operation no problem. But in Uganda, it's just not the case, because there's a lack of resources and awareness. And so they don't know to look for that. And so children are dying, and they're just not getting access to this, like, very needed, crucial care early on in their life. And so I met a little baby who needed the heart surgery, who had Down syndrome, and that took me on a wild and crazy journey. I ended up bringing her to India to a hospital to get her operation. And after that experience, I realized there are so many more children like her, and it's not fair. It's not their fault that they're born in a country that doesn't understand or is not set up to care for them. But I knew better because of my experiences with this population in the States. And I felt called to create a program where these children are dignified in the healthcare systems, treated as equal, and also provided this care to save their life. And so soon after, I started Hearts of Joy, and now we've been doing it for 5 years. We just celebrated our 5-year anniversary. We've helped over 100 children, which is so crazy. By the time this podcast comes out, hopefully it's like many more than that, because it just keeps increasing and increasing, which is so incredible, the amount of children that we're able to impact and help. And we serve in Uganda, India, Mexico, and the Philippines, as well as here in the States. So it's just far bigger than me. And I'm just really so blessed to be able to serve and help in this way. It's truly a joy. It sounds cliche, Hearts of Joy, but it is such a joy. I love it.
Oh my God. And I love that it's Hearts of Joy, because I call my son Nicholas King.
Yeah.
Nicholas
I love it.
Joy, because literally that's what he is. He's always happy. I'm like, I feel like my son is a goal. Like, want to live in the moment
Yeah.
and happy. He's there. He's
Yeah.
not thinking about what happened earlier or what's
Yeah.
gonna happen tomorrow. He's like, yes, this.
Yeah. They're very present,
Oh my
which is
God.
something that's really beautiful. And like they love like so freely, like there's no condition to it. Whereas sometimes we can choose to like hate someone or to not be loving or kind, whereas it's just in their nature, you know. I mean, and all of us are human. They're not happy all the time. Let's clarify that.
Right.
But you know, there is something so beautiful in their spirit that we can learn so much from.
Right.
The way that they just love and treat others. It's just, yeah, very inspiring.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But when my son is not happy, honestly, I know something's wrong. I'm like,
Yeah.
something, he's really sick, something. And obviously he has his moments where I'm like, are you okay? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, are you like, how do you feel? He's like, happy.
Oh,
And I know he's not like 100% great. And I'm like, puppy, it's okay.
oh, yeah.
But one of the things I did want to talk about is when I met you. Um,
Mhm.
I met Lauren in California at the Dear Mom conference. It been
Yeah.
2 years? It's been 2 years, I think,
2
right?
years ago. Yeah, it's crazy. Time
That's
flies.
crazy. I
So
feel like it was just last year.
yeah, 2
Um,
years ago.
so 2 years ago, and we were speaking, and I was telling you about the line across my son's hand. Words are
It's it's a significant marker for Down syndrome.
not.
So not
Yeah.
everyone has it, but it's a significant marker. So if you were to see that, that would indicate that the child has Down syndrome.
Yes, that. And so I remember going to Children's Hospital Boston where I met
Mm,
Dr. Crocker, and he's passed away since, but he was such an amazing doctor, so devoted to people with Down syndrome. And I
mm.
remember he looked at my son's hand and he said, beautiful.
Oh,
And
yeah,
it was the first time I felt like somebody else saw my son the way that I saw him. Um,
yeah,
and people didn't love my son, but they couldn't see past Down syndrome and what did that mean, you know? But for
right.
somebody to say beautiful to something so simple and unique, because that made him unique, makes him unique.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm telling Lauren, I'm telling you about it, and all of a sudden you show me your palm, and you have the same line on your palm.
Yeah.
And can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I was born with the I don't know if you could see it, but wow.
Right there. Yeah.
The line on my hand. And so when I was born, they told my parents that I had Down syndrome. And obviously I do not, but I say like God wrote the pathway to my life in the palm of my hand. And I think he does that for all of us. He just writes it within our hearts, our mission on this earth, or how we're called to love and serve. And yeah, it's just a really cool, for a long time, I didn't even know what that was, which is so funny now looking to like my mission and what I do with my life. It's just such a beautiful reminder of this is your call, and just my connection to those with Down syndrome. Yeah. And even my own parents went through that process of thinking that I had Down syndrome. So it's just all connected, and God always has a greater plan. It's just like, yeah, the coolest thing. I just think that's so cool.
I absolutely
Yeah.
love I literally was talking about that this morning and I was crying because just God works so beautifully, and
Yeah.
maybe the message isn't gonna be received immediately, right? Like it
Mm,
okay, now I know
I
what
know. Yeah.
it is, right? But you all of a sudden start creating this, and then you see the connection, like, what
Mm,
is
yeah.
this? Amazing, and how beautiful. I was stamped like this is
Yeah.
mission right in my hand.
Yeah. And now I take photos of all of our patients' little hands in my hand. So we have the crease. It's just, yeah, really special. Just so I can remember all of them too. They're cute
We,
little faces.
we've got to
Yeah.
do that with Nick when you get to meet him too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
I could
like,
do that.
ah.
Yeah. I
Um,
love it. It's awesome.
but back to what you were talking about too,
Mm,
as far as people that you serve in India and Africa that
mm,
don't see the point in getting the surgery, right? Like whether it's that, do you believe that it's that they don't see people with Down syndrome as worthy of having the surgery?
Yeah, culturally speaking, in a lot of, low-income developing countries, there's just no representation for people with Down syndrome. And so the understanding of the capability of that life is very low.
Yes.
Or what they can accomplish, or that they can go to school and do all these things, and that they can be a functioning member of society and contribute to the community in a positive way. It's just something that we're trying to introduce. And of course, like, that's a generalization. Every country is different and has different cultural differences, but for the most part, it's because of that, the lack of representation and lack of resources and funding for these operations, because we work with a lot of families that sometimes they do know, and then sometimes they don't really know what that is. So we explain it to them. But even if they do have some sort of understanding, they absolutely cannot afford that type of procedure. And it's not like here in the States, where we have these incredible examples. We have actors with Down syndrome. We have people on billboards. We have TV shows. We have people that have wrote books and just done such incredible things. I still think we can grow here as well, but we have such examples of, okay, maybe what we thought, 40 years ago is archaic at this point, where we haven't gotten to that level in a lot of these countries. So I always say our mamas can only see the baby in their lap. They can't see past that because they've never known anyone else who's moved past that, or who's, their child has grown up and gone to school. And so it's just, our program has grown so beautifully, where now some of our, kiddos that got surgery 5 years ago are now 8, 9. They're old enough, they're going to school. So it's just a beautiful kind of, ripple effect of how, when you give that child a chance and you believe in them and you teach the family and the culture that they just needed to see that example. And now our moms know, the ones that have gone through the program, and now they're sharing with people that they meet in the market or in their villages, no, this is not something to be afraid of. Actually, this is what we learned, and this is what Down syndrome is. And, they can live a full life. And that's my most favorite part. I have many favorite parts of my job, but one of them is seeing that transformation within the family, the mom specifically, and then seeing how she becomes this incredible, fierce advocate. We know you and so many of our moms here. It's just the coolest thing, because there's so much stacked against them. I mean, they're living in cultures that tell them, forget about it, don't bother. You're never going to be able to succeed with this. And your child's going to suffer. So are you. So just abandon them. And for them to look at that situation and say, you know what, no, I'm going to rewrite this story. And through education and through us helping with the procedure, it's incredible. I'm completely blown away by the moms and their strength and courage. And it's so inspiring to see how they rise to the occasion, and they become the mothers that they were created to be. It's just the coolest thing. Yeah.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love the love that I experienced from Nicholas. I never experienced before. I mean, honestly, people think that it's because he was born with Down syndrome, but for me, it was because I loved him before I met him.
Yeah.
Before I knew anything about him, he was in my belly, a little bean, an ultrasound.
Oh, so cute. Yeah. Yeah.
I am not smoking cigarettes. I'm not drinking anymore. I don't even want to hang out with the same people.
Yeah.
Right.
It changes you.
Oh my God. I'm
yeah.
And I tell people that one of the many things I love about Nicholas is that in loving him, I learned to love me. I didn't treat myself kind before I had him. I used to smoke cigarettes. That blows me away because it's been so long. But I used to smoke cigarettes every day. I used to drink a lot.
Wow.
And all of a sudden he comes to my life and I'm like, okay, done. I tried smoking cigarettes forever. And then so it just a shift of consciousness. This is love. I thought I knew love. I didn't know love. This is love.
Right. It's just so powerful.
And I love that you get to inform mothers, because then I'm sure that it's a struggle, right? Like they're hearing what they hear, but they love their child. And it's,
Yeah. Yeah.
what do I do? All of a sudden somebody comes in and infuses them with information. Like, actually, your child is pretty freaking awesome and
Yeah.
amazing things. And this is what you got to do. And it's like, all right, well,
Mhm. Yeah.
thanks. Because that's
Yeah.
all I needed. I needed somebody to
It's
tell me to believe.
Yes, encouragement. And that's what we do. We come in and we provide that encouragement and support because you have that ingrained in you when you become a mother. Like it's in your fiber of your being. And each of these mothers have that. It's just kind of drawing that out and providing that support that no, you can do this and we're gonna walk with you through it and we're gonna, provide this care for you. And we also like it becomes such a hopeless situation for these families in a lot of these countries because there's not a lot of support for them because their child has special needs, in particular Down syndrome. And so it's just we're coming in and we are providing that hope also. And we say like, getting heart surgery is no easy feat either. Like it's called Hearts of Joy for dual reason, because when I was thinking of a name and praying about it, I kept getting like hope and love and then joy kept coming back and back into my head when I was thinking of like a word that represented those with Down syndrome, and joy just kept coming to me. So I said, okay, it's Hearts of Joy. But then once I started it, I started to realize, okay, our role as the team is to also bring that joy into this very dark and difficult situation. Like it's very hard for anyone to have their child go through this life-changing procedure. It's a difficult process. So we say we bring joy to the hospital experience, to the families, and showing them like your child is worth it, even though this is difficult. And most people would just tell you to get rid of the child or abandon or just not walk through it. We're giving them another option. And we like to think it's a great option, because we do bring that joy and love and hope back into their hearts that, it's going to be okay. And we're going to be there to help you. And like these children are just so amazing. And yeah, I'm getting excited because I'm headed to Uganda for the next couple months. So I'm just like even talking about it, I'm like, I can't wait to be back with the kids. And yeah, they're just the best. So really
That's
special.
super exciting.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much that comes up, and I write notes
Yeah.
just
Mm-hmm.
because can't remember, or there's something that I know that I want to say.
Yeah, you're good.
So one of the things that I was going to mention is that I don't know if it was children's. I heard a hospital here before deemed people with Down syndrome as not worthy of getting heart surgery, and now they do them. But it was like years ago, which is not surprising to me, right? Our people were institutionalized, and
Yeah.
right. And so this is what was coming up for me, because I literally wrote this in like capital letters about what you do, and what you do is save lives.
Yeah.
You are literally saving lives, because even the thought of what people with Down syndrome went through, even institutionalized, right? They would say people with Down syndrome die young. And
Yeah.
I believe that they died younger because they went unloved.
Yeah. And they were alone a lot
Yeah.
of the time.
Like we as humans, we need to feel love. We
Yeah.
need attention. And eventually it's like our bodies die down if nothing is feeding us.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
true.
never mind the way that they were treated, right? But if I'm not getting any love, I'm not gonna last as long, right? If I don't know how to water myself, right? Because I never saw what that was like. What does it mean to love myself?
Right.
And my son is such a loving young man. Like literally he came home from a weekend away, and he just Sunday, and he came up to me and hugged me for like 10 minutes.
Oh, so cute.
And I'm like, are you okay? And because I was concerned, I'm like, he doesn't always come hug me for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was loosening, and when I would loosen, he would pull me tighter. I was like,
Oh,
my tears. I was like,
so cute.
obviously, I'm an emotional being. I let anything touch heart. If anything touches my heart, I'm going to cry because I was told crying is not strength, it's strength. And I'm crying.
Yeah. He's
Uh,
so sweet.
oh
Oh,
my God. He's so incredible, and there's such a misconception. I mean, I love that there's so many barriers that have broken with people with Down syndrome now.
yes.
Like you said, there's actors, there's people working at the state house now. And it's just like,
It's
yeah,
incredible.
yes. And it's not every person with Down syndrome, right? Some people with Down syndrome, my son is at home right now. My mission
Right.
is to help him
Right.
figure out what he wants to do. But we've done music
Right.
together, and we're gonna continue doing music together. Like as long as he has me by his side, we're doing things. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
we're the same team. We
Yeah.
together.
Exactly. I
Um,
love it.
and I love that that's what I hear about you, that you plant yourself as the
Mhm.
teammate of
Mhm.
these mothers, of these
Yeah.
families, of these children that you know are worthy of love and
Mhm.
life and more.
Yeah. Encouragement goes a long way, and telling someone, you can do it and you will do it, and actually showing up for them and proving that to them, I think is also key. Because, we can say things with our words, but showing up, being there. I mean, our team travels every time there's an operation. And so we are I'm in the hospital with the moms, helping them throughout that process. And so I think that's also key is we mean what we say and we show up for you. And I just don't think that that's something that they're used to, especially once they get that diagnosis of Down syndrome and a heart defect. It's complex that it's both of them, you know? It's just really challenging for these families on so many levels. And but again, it's such a gift for me and for our team to be able to walk with these women and families through this situation. And I just love these kids so much.
Mm,
Yeah.
I love it.
All 100 of them. I know every single one by name and their story. And yeah, it's just crazy.
Wow. Wow.
Mhm.
I remember after I had Nick, because that test is something that they give all children with Down
Yeah.
syndrome when they're born.
Mhm.
I remember that was one of the most challenging
Yeah.
waiting times for me, is sitting outside while they did the test. And for
Yeah.
me to be possibly told he didn't need the open heart surgery, but even just waiting, what the anticipation of like him having to go through that was a
Stressful.
struggle. Yes. And so I imagine, a parent that is going through that, and then they come out and then be told um,
Mhm.
that they do need a heart surgery. I mean, I worked for the Down syndrome clinic at Children's for a year and a
Mhm.
half. And I did go to the NICU often and meet some beautiful babies that, did have open heart surgery,
Mhm.
and seeing their mothers, right there next to them. And
Yeah.
you have to be strong for yourself and for them. And it's great to have a community to be able to support you
Mhm.
emotionally,
Yeah.
and to cheer you on. It's amazing. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so good. So good.
Thank
I am
you.
cheering you on. I am excited that you're going
Thank
to
you.
Uganda again.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
going to, no, I'm like, I'm going with you, but it's my dream to go to Africa. Like
Mm.
that's in my bucket list.
Mhm.
One day. But thank you for all that you do for the people in Africa and India and Mexico. Like I love that it's grown, because I think it was just
Yeah.
in Africa at some point, right?
For the first year, it was Uganda and India. And then it
Okay.
expanded pretty quickly to the Philippines and then Mexico. And then here in the States, helping women who are pregnant that get that prenatal diagnosis, throwing baby showers, and then connecting them to cardiac teams. So, it's grown so much. And it feels like we're just at the beginning. So, who knows? I think there's so much more for these children. And it's just, it's my honor and joy to be able to do this and to show people the blessing and the gift that they are. So I'll spend the rest of my life doing that, shouting it from the rooftops. Yeah, like these kids are the best, and everyone needs to see that and know that. experience that. So,
Yes.
but
What
yeah,
a mission.
amazing.
What a beautiful, beautiful mission. And
Thank
I
you.
can see that you do it with your whole heart, with so much love, with so much passion. Definitely share our song with people. Down,
Yeah, they would love to see it because you have a video, right?
yes,
Yeah, oh
down.
my gosh, they will love that. They will love to see that.
Yes, Nicholas is literally saying, I rock Down syndrome tried.
Yeah, I love it. It's amazing.
Thank you for being here, Lauren. Is there
Yeah,
anything
thank
in
you.
closing that you want to share?
If anyone wants to contact us or get in touch to be more involved with Hearts of Joy, or if you feel called to make a donation, you can visit our website, which is heartsofjoyinternational.com. And then we're on social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn as Hearts of Joy International. So please connect with us. We'd love to hear from you. And thank you so much again, for all your support and for having me on.
You're awesome. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
being here.
Yeah, it's great.
Fun.
Thank you.